Welcome back to Trading Rolly. Let's talk Bitcoin. Let's talk Ethereum possibly breaking all-time highs in the next 24 hours. Lots of charts, technical analysis. We'll look at the major altcoins. Bitcoin currently still in that symmetrical triangle. Typically in an uptrend, a symmetrical triangle is a continuation pattern, so possibly break higher here. We're in a falling wedge, breaking that, so possibly retest this downward resistance line. And yes, Ethereum testing that yearly high and possibly breaking all-time highs in the very, very short future. So go ahead, hit that like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed, tick the bell for notifications. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. I am not your financial advisor. All right, let's take a look at the market. Bitcoin in the last 24 hours up 3%. Ethereum almost double that. Are we in altcoin season? Almost 7%. XRP getting a little bit of a bounce up 4%, up to 29 cents. Litecoin doing well, 9% as well. So we're seeing the majors starting to move. Over the weekend, Bitcoin was definitely sideways, low volume, kind of drooping to the downside. And we saw some altcoins pumping. Polkadot, Link, now we have Graph is doing well. Let's take a look at the top performers. You can see the Graph, yes, up 16%. Ampleforth up 27%. OMG up 14%. So let's get to the charts in just a second. Crypto Fear and Greed Index down at an 80. We were consolidating above 90 for a while, dipping down. I mean, this is good. Let's dip down. Let's get, a little fearful and, be greedy when those are fearful and fearful when those are greedy. So let's accept this little dip, take it as an opportunity because, guys, we're still in the cycle. We have a full year left, in my opinion, in this bull run, at least as far as this cycle. So, guys, the dips are meant to be bought. Those are your discounts. All right, let's go to the altcoin season. We can see altcoin season. We've been watching this in the last 90 days. That's your season, moving up to a 37. The past month, we're at a 51. This is a drastic change. You can see Bitcoin season was down in this range, breaking above if you've been following here. So we're finally seeing some altcoins outperform Bitcoin. Real quick in the news, NVIDIA could be making graphic cards for cryptocurrency miners. Right now, they're more concerned about gaming. But if you look at this headline here, PayPal may earn $2 billion in revenue from Bitcoin alone by 2023. And you have MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, publicly traded company, just been on the rise ever since they made their Bitcoin investment. So now, not only are publicly traded companies getting involved with Bitcoin, either with whether it's on their balance sheet or like PayPal or NVIDIA. If NVIDIA announces they're going to start selling Bitcoin mining, their stock probably goes up as well because anything related to Bitcoin is going up on these stocks. Different ways you can play Bitcoin. Riot Blockchain is doing mining. That's been a great play for me. So just keep this on your radar, but you can see if these companies are going to make money getting involved in Bitcoin, more and more companies will start doing the same. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the charts, guys. We're going to be rapid fire. Ethereum, definitely want to look at this, talk about some price targets, but real quick, let's look at Bitcoin, still sideways. It's been a 3-day weekend, MLK Day today, and back to Wall Street hours tomorrow. You can see we're in a symmetrical triangle. You have two touches here, you have two touches there, bit of a falling wedge on low volume. You can see the volume has dropped off a lot. Breaking above, we're going to see, to break a consolidation like this, you're going to see want to see large volume if you're a bull. If you have a breakout on low volume, it's usually a fake out. Right now, you're still within the symmetrical triangle. And while Bitcoin is in the symmetrical triangle, you've seen the Bitcoin dominance actually falling. This is a 4-hour, you can see this drop below this critical line here. We'll zoom out on the daily in a second, and retesting and coming down. So you can see the Bitcoin dominance has been falling during this symmetrical triangle consolidation. Your Stokes still coming down as well, allowing the altcoins to have at least an altcoin month. At least an altcoin month. Are we in full season mode? Possibly. See, you had this resistance point, possibly a support, but you're actually consolidating underneath it. If you looked at that 4-hour, you retested it and then trending lower. You could throw on your moving averages if you wanted to as well, and you're below that yellow 21 EMA. So as long as this trends lower, that's probably the altcoins having their turn while Bitcoin stays in that symmetrical triangle. If Bitcoin breaks the symmetrical triangle, you're going to see the altcoin profits start flooding to Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance rise, and Bitcoin take another leg higher. If you drop out of this symmetrical triangle, I imagine the altcoins would drop harder than Bitcoin. Therefore, the dominance would also rise. And if you look at the dominance, you can see the dominance on the daily is low. I have this new version of my stochastics that actually tells you at what point will they cross up. So on the dominance daily, close above 67.76%, you'll get a cross up. A cross up on this daily dominance chart would coincide with probably a break either to the upside or downside of that symmetrical triangle. If we do break down to the downside, I have a support box here between 27,000 and 22 to 24,000 little support boxes. And I think, if you look at the weekly, if you look at your moving averages specifically, my worst case scenario I said on Twitter at Trading Rolly, we've been watching the pink 10 simple, yellow 21 EMA on that 2017 bull run. That should stay as support. So say we drop out of the 4-hour symmetrical triangle, possibly you come down here, hit that yellow 21 EMA on the weekly at 22,300, bounce, and I would say probably close above the pink 10 simple. Now, do you eventually close below the pink 10 simple? Time will tell. But I think on the first dump, you would not. So you could get a wick all the way down here, a bounce hard, and close back above 26,800. So that would be my worst case scenario. Dump, a nice bounce, plenty of people ready to buy. People are piling in every day. You have people. I bought my first Bitcoin. We have this new retail Robinhood trader, TikTok traders. They've been propping up the stock market, and they also are the ones buying into Bitcoin too. So, I know that won't go on forever. They'll get the rug pulled eventually. But guys, retail's piling in, and we're seeing institutions pile in, most importantly. So that's my take there. It's pretty simple. Your daily above the yellow 21 EMA has been a key support. You maintained above it. I mean, your wicks were bouncing right off of it. You didn't even really wick down except for that one time there. So obvious, bounces along the way. Now we're trying to break above that pink 10 simple. Your daily Stoke is crossed down, so we're going to need to get a nice bounce on volume here that lines up with that 4-hour triangle. But your Stokes are rising. Your 4-hour Stoke is rising, and we've got to close above all moving averages. Now we want to see an open and close candle body, and then get some volume to break that downtrend. All right, so that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. And as long as Bitcoin can just stay sideways, it's allowing the altcoins to have their gains because the altcoins were lagging, right? Take a look at the time. So we can see that Ethereum, this yearly high was at about 1,349. We're at 1,320. Approaching that, you did get a little spike on the volume. That's good. So this is a 4 hour. We're going to want to see another spike on volume and another, something like this, like just rising volume. That way you can break your all-time high. Way back here, you can see that all-time high here is at 1,419, almost 1,420. So a break above that on volume, and you do see a lot of volume rising here. All right, so if the volume tapers off, this spike in volume could be a top signal. We're going to want to see, this might be crazy because this is the highest volume here, but we need to see multiple candles like that size to break this all-time high, and we can. And Bitcoin, when it broke its all-time high at 20K, went to 40K pretty rapidly. 20K right here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So in a month, it was doubled its price. 1,400 is all-time high on Ethereum. So 2,800 in a month from now, if we can break that. Why not? That's going to be our realistic, short to mid-term target. Beyond that, we can argue that Ethereum could go to 10,000, 20,000. There's an argument that if you couldn't own one Bitcoin, you need at least one Ethereum. Possibly Ethereum is Bitcoin, as Raoul Paul says. If you want to argue that, there's an argument. There's only a 21 million Bitcoin supply, but there's all these other coins that people can use as well. So is it really just 21 million Bitcoin? Well, what if people just move to Ethereum equally as Bitcoin? What if Ethereum had the same market cap as Bitcoin? If so, these prices are really, really cheap. And regardless, even if it's half of Bitcoin's market cap down the road, this is still a great price. This is my second holding. Bitcoin's my top holding. Ethereum's my second holding. All right, so let's actually, before I move on, let's just take a little look at something else on Ethereum. Obviously, if we're gauging Bitcoin's move by 100%, 2,800. But I did want to do one other thing real quick. Let's look at the Fibonacci here. And before I go on to all the altcoins, I really wanted to say something about the DXY. So Ethereum, 1.618 target extension from that top to bottom would be 2,172. And then 2.618, 34,000 roughly, your next target. Bitcoin went to, that was 2019 high. So this is a bit different. But your 3.618 extension, forgive me, is at 4,758. So, 5,000 isn't really out of the question, especially if Ethereum can outperform Bitcoin due to having a smaller market cap, easier to push prices. 5,000 is a reasonable target for sure this year. Okay, above all moving averages, like Bitcoin, very similar pattern, just lagging as Bitcoin's way up here. Ethereum is now approaching that all-time high. I did want to take a look at this dollar index. I was pointing out, let's see, let me get rid of, I think it's this line. All right, cool. So you can see this was where Bitcoin actually topped out end of 2017. You have a strong support, and this is the dollar index. All right, so you can see that Bitcoin moves inverse to the dollar index. And you can see that this was a resistance point, now flip support, and this is going back 11 years at least. And now breaking down below, you would imagine at least on the first attempt you'd get a bounce. And on that first attempt, we did get a bounce. And with that bounce, Bitcoin has consolidated sideways. Gold actually came down, and the stocks are just doing fine. But you could see with gold, gold acted inversely with the dollar index as well. All right. But Here was a bit of a support flipped resistance. And now what I'm watching is, could that flip as resistance again? And if you go to a 4-hour chart, you can see you're actually getting rejected there. So if this trends lower, you're going to see Bitcoin break out most likely. All right. So if this trends lower, I think you lost me there for a second. But if I'm trying to get the image back. So if this trends lower, Bitcoin will break that symmetrical triangle. If this breaks that 91 level, you could see Bitcoin actually break down from that symmetrical triangle. Just bear with the image. I don't know. This is the first time it's happened in a while. So that's what I'm watching on the dollar index. And you can see that commodities have been playing inverse with this, as well as the stocks. And I guess I'm going to be a ghost here. This is driving me crazy. I'm not going to edit it. So go ahead and fix it. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. The stock market just opened up and having a nice bounce. Okay, you can see the ES. This is your S&P 500 futures, and then you have the Nasdaq also bouncing here, as well as your Dow Jones. So as the dollar index is turning back over at resistance, the stocks are bouncing. And if you look at the gold here, gold is bouncing. So why shouldn't Bitcoin? All right. Another fact, going back to my Ethereum, Ethereum BTC, if you look at that, oh, good, you can finally see me. Ethereum BTC, the weekly stoke rising. And this is a level of interest up here, 0.04. So Ethereum could have, some time, another week or two. And if you break that, that's going to be a major Ethereum bull run and possibly the altcoin season. So we're also watching that. But so far, the ETH BTC pair is also bullish. Stoke daily still rising. So, and still have room to go to the upside. All right. So let's real quick look at a couple altcoins. I'm making these videos under 20 minutes if possible. All right. Ethereum, we looked at. Litecoin had this resistance, and you retested it as support and getting a bounce possibly here now. I think this will follow Ethereum and Bitcoin. But right now, it's still kind of in consolidation. Litecoin has been doing really well. So we're seeing more of the DeFi coins pumping. Cardano is struggling at this 38 cents level. 38 cents is going to be, you had that previous peak, a bit of resistance there. Your stochastic still pointed up, almost turned down, but still pointed up. See, at that point there was the first rejection at 38 cents. But you can see that it didn't get, you got a rejection and then it bounced. It maintained above your move, yellow 21 EMA on the daily. Nice bounce. Looked like a bull flag. It was nice daily candle above previous bodies, but slowing down here. So we'll have to see, does it come back to test that yellow 21 EMA support at 29 cents? You have support at 32 cents, but 38 cents is going to be critical for Cardano. XRP, Coinbase trading will be halted, so be careful tomorrow. Below that about 30 cents level, and not only below that on the daily, below your moving averages as well. So that's going to be your resistance. Need to get above that for a breakout to the upside. Link hit my timer, so let me make these last few quick. You can see on Link, so basically maybe like a cup and handle type pattern, consolidation. And I have a measured move, if you measure this to there, taking me to around $27, $28 possibly. But you're at all-time highs on the daily and above all your moving averages, I'm sure. On a lower time frame, look trading Link. 4 hours still above your yellow 21 EMA. If you lose that yellow 21 EMA, possibly come back down to 18 cents. But I would like to, yeah, not 18 cents, $18. And $18 right here on that 4 hour also lines up with the previous resistance point. You can see that resistance. You had wicks above, but candle bodies, and then boom, okay? And you even kind of retested it there already. So I wouldn't want to come all the way back to 18, but it wouldn't be too crazy. Okay, guys, wrap it up. Let's see, dot well above all its moving averages, had a large move, so consolidating on the 4 hour, still above yellow 21 EMA. Stokes coming down. If it loses yellow 21 EMA, you could come down to $12.83 for, you know, a confirmation on the dip being bought back up to the upside. You want to see this 4 hour cross back up to the upside. Where exactly? Let's throw on that label again. Close above $17.86 to cross up on the 4 hour. And then YFI on the daily, nice daily close above the previous candle bodies. Okay, and you're going to try and break this here above all moving averages, break the all-time high, possibly coming for YFI. Depends, you know, if Bitcoin can maintain sideways. You can see YFI moving. You can see DeFi UMA slash Oracle is rounding bottom, moving up. Atom has been performing well. We were watching this resistance level here. It found slight resistance at that peak there, all-time highs. And on a lower time frame, let's see where we are with Atom. Above the pink 10 simple still, support at $9. Yellow 21 EMA support at $8.62. Okay, so that's going to be it for me right now. Maybe I'll do another video this week focusing more on the altcoins, less on Bitcoin. But this should catch you up on everything going on right now. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Rolly roll.